Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some F's in the chat for the poor, poor people who have to suffer at Martha's Vineyard due to the cruel machinations of Democrat policies? Can we just get some F's in the chat for the poor, unfortunate souls who have to endure 50 migrants that came from south of the border and were brought there by an evil man? Just the cruelest of men. Can we get some F's in the chat for these put upon, these sad excuses for human beings? That is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie. The funniest thing that I've ever seen is watching Martha's Vineyard. Blue Democrats, rich elitists, see 50 Hispanics that are running loose around their town. That can't possibly be. They have to work for them in order to be there. Oh, they're so put upon. It's the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. Whatever like Abbott and DeSantis are doing, they need to keep doing it. What we need to do is keep making the left live up to their virtue signals. It's superb. Absolutely superb. How are y'all doing today? It's Friday. It's Friday. We made it. Another week. F off Martha's Vineyard. Oh my gosh. It tolerates me likely because Brandon made me a mod. Possibly. What's up, Theater? I hope I'm saying that right. I went into David Pacman's comment section and ticked off some nerds. Well, I gotta tell you, this is a chat full of nerds too, but we're not insufferable nerds, you know? Not insufferable nerds also have kept calling attention to how Illinois Dems Sean Casten's 17-year-old daughter died about 90 days ago and zero news of how. Ooh. That I feel like needs to be explained. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Red State Live. Just a reminder, and I announced this yesterday, and I feel like I need to, we're going to pause the music for a second here. I feel like I need to reiterate something here. This is the last episode of RSL for now. It is going on an indefinite hiatus. I refuse to say that this show is done for good. It has a great community. As you guys know, chat, you are an unbelievable group of people to talk to, and you are fun. You know how to have fun. And I'd hate to just sit there and say, hey, I'll never see you guys again. But the good news is that I'm not never going to see you guys again. This does not mean that Red State is going silent. Red State YouTube is probably actually going to get more busy now. Just not in the live aspect. You will now see me a lot more. Believe it or not. It's not just going to be random live streams and then hopefully a random highlight video. What I am going to be doing after this, next week I'm taking a week off from content generation in order to kind of craft a YouTube video setup. Probably if you've watched The Quartering, if you've watched Eric July, Young Ripa, you've watched Tim Pool, you've seen their videos. It's actually how I started this YouTube channel. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that video making process again, but I am going to update it. It's going to look better. And you're probably going to get more content from me than you usually would a week. So I will be there. I will not, obviously, you can still chat. You can still leave comments and stuff. So I'm still going to be interacting with you guys. It's just not going to be on a live basis. Again, this does not mean that RSL is going away for good. I foresee some things happening. For instance, on big election days, they're probably going to want me to go live and hang out with you guys. We're going to have guests on when that happens and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be a big deal. So RSL is not kaput permanently. It's just the regular 3-day-a-week show is probably going to be tucked away for now, and it's going to be replaced with daily, or not daily videos. Well, maybe daily videos, actually. You might actually find them here. You're going to find them on Instagram. You might find them on TikTok. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be more present now than I used to be. So, again, last regular show, I should say. This is the last regular show. Breaks my heart to have to end it that regularity. But, it is a show that takes... It's about a 4 to 5 person show. It takes 4 to 5 people to run a show like this. We're currently running it with 2. One, if you count Sweats, who helps us put together videos from time to time. But yeah, it's me and Red, and it's a lot of work, and it can tire a person out. And so it's better to, at this point, come up with a little bit more of a different strategy, one that requires less work and hopefully more output. So in the meantime, enjoy the videos that I release. I'm going to be releasing a lot of them. And also, the cool thing is that you guys can decide what I talk about that day. All you have to do, my DMs are open. Send me a message on Twitter at @TheBrennanMorse. If there's something you want me to talk about, if I find it interesting, then by all means, send it to me. Also, you can join us in the Discord. I have a Discord. If you are used to using Discord, if you have one at all, by all means, join the Discord. And if you still want to see me live stream, because I'm still going to live stream, just not here on YouTube, not for Red State. I'm live streaming for myself. It is going to be at twitch.tv/themorsecode. All the links are going to appear in chat right now. Red is posting them. So be sure to join me there if you haven't already. We go live every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. And we usually have a really good time there. So just hang out with me. It's not a political show, but we tend to do a lot of really cool stuff there. So hang out with us there if you want to continue to watch me live stream personally. And that's that for that announcement. So, again, just to recap, last show, more content coming down the line, more than usual. All right? Does that make up for it? I hope it does. But you guys, you're better than a lot of others. Deidre, thank you so much, brother. I really do appreciate that. I try to have fun, I feel like some stuff, it's too formulaic, it gets too serious. I like to come in here, I like to improv, I like to have a good time, And I'm glad that you guys get that too. Dieter, I could have sworn Pink Floyd had sold out a show to save parking in Youngstown. You should do some reaction videos to libs of TikTok. So if we got time today, I will. But for the future, yeah, absolutely. Some of those videos might very well, if I find nothing that I find like fun to talk about or make a video about, I'll react to some TikToks. What's up, Amtrue? Thanks for all the streams. Very fun and informative. Thank you, Amtrue. I really appreciate it. Be sure to stay around, because we're going to have videos coming down the pipe after next week. Tucker last night had a concept I had to write down. Radical deconstructive change is the essence of anti-racism. I mean, it is kind of the basis by which, like the whole deconstruction thing, the hypercriticism, or what is it called? The critical theory, just critical theory in general, not just critical race theory, critical theory is all about deconstructionism. So yes, you are correct. Another day, another dollar. Amen to that. Got the elevator music back. This isn't elevator music. This is good stuff. It's good background music. A whole 50. A whole 50. What are you talking about? Where are my servants going to stay? There's no more room in the, I mean, they could go to Martha's Vineyard. There's no more room, apparently, in Martha's Vineyard. They don't have a place. Despite the fact that they have, like houses that could, house thousands of people, maybe, all together. Maybe Martha's, I've never been to Martha's Vineyard, but I've seen, like, some of the houses that they have there, and they're, like, entire compounds. You're telling me that 50 not one of those open-hearted leftists who was virtue signaling about, sanctuary cities and how open they are to, how xenophobic they're not and open they are to foreigners. They're not one of them has a place where they can house 50 immigrants. Seems a little silly. Seems a little silly to me. I don't know. Goodness gracious me. All right. Today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite things. I want to talk about what's been going on at G4 TV. For those of you who don't know what G4 TV is, it used to be called Tech TV back in the day. It used to be a channel that centered around nerd stuff, computers, yada, yada, yada. It transformed into G4 TV, which ended up being one of my favorite channels of all time. Do y'all remember, like, Code Monkeys? The show Code Monkeys from Oscar de la Pena? You had Attack of the Show. You had X-Play. All right? It was a show. It was a channel for nerds. It had Ninja Warrior and Cops reruns as far as the eye could see. It was amazing. But it had to get shut down because I guess, when it was bought by, what was it, Paramount? I forget who bought them. Comcast, I think, bought them. I think Comcast didn't understand what it was looking at, and so it nixed the television station. Well, then they decided that they were going to reawaken G4 TV, but this time as a streaming thing on YouTube, on Twitch, and all that stuff. And I hoped for the best, and I expected the worst, and what I got was the worst, naturally. Why? Because I know where we live in human history. I know where we live in human history. This is a time of wokeness. This is a time where people put their politics before everything else. And activists actively go out and seek a way to infiltrate things that people love and take it over, wear it as a mask, and then preach their politics from that platform. You've seen it in Lord of the Rings. You've seen it in the MCU. You're seeing it right now on G4. So G4 TV had to lay off a bunch of people, naturally, because their audiences abandoned them when they started going woke. The person who made the network go woke, her name is Frosk. That's what she goes by. Indiana Black is her name. If your name is Indiana Black, why are you going with the name Frosk? Indiana Black is cool enough, first off. But Frosk decided to go on a very, very super feminist rant. And at the very end of her feminist rant, where she decided to label the viewers as sexists, she said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. And guess what happened? The viewers stopped watching it. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm not going to be insulted and then give you my views. Come on. It's just another activist, just another woke activist wearing the mask of something that came before her that was better and trying to use it to channel her own personal crap to the viewer. That's all that was. Well, they all got laid off, or not all of them, sorry, about 20 to 30 people, 20, 30 to people got laid off. But you know who didn't get laid off? Let's talk about that. Also, we're about to talk about that Little Mermaid race controversy because I'm sick and tired of everyone talking about it. And I gotta say that I'm gonna take an approach that maybe some of you, some of you know exactly where I'm gonna go with it, but some of you might not have considered on either side of the argument. And I think it's kind of crap that you have a whole bunch of people who are getting mad about the Little Mermaid and then looking at the people who are mad about the race swap and going like, well, you're just racist. Bro, shut up. You had no idea. Are there racists out there? Sure, but you got the wrong idea, man. And I'm about to fix that. I'm about to highlight how this is a nonsensical look at the whole thing. But first, this G4 TV thing. I've been to Martha's Vineyard, $1 million mansions with lots of open space. They could easily pitch a bunch of tents. Yeah, why don't they just create like a little tent community? I mean, they've got a bunch of open rooms. Why don't they take some families, maybe some women and children, put them in there? I don't know. They've got the space. Here in Springfield, Illinois, argued with the local radio that says he's conservative but bashes Trump. Subject, he kept saying that crossed legally. They crossed legally. I asked him if he was a lawyer. What did he say? What did he say in return? Don't they have dungeons? You remember Attack of the Show? Dude, that was my favorite freaking show, man. Especially Code Monkeys. Do y'all remember Code Monkeys? I remember Code Monkeys. Hang on. I can only play like 5 seconds of this. So good. Otherwise, YouTube's going to be like, what the hell do you think you're doing? Playing something that people like? How dare you, sir? I've heard how good original G4 was. Too bad I missed it. The botch revival is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because G4 TV was a brilliant network. Attack of the Show was like, it launched careers. And I tuned in to watch Ninja Warrior. Once Ninja Warrior was off G4 TV, I just did not care anymore. I'm calling it, of the 900,000 unknown gotaways, there will be an orchestrated surprise that may make 9/11 look like a cakewalk. God, I hope not. I really hope not. Back in the 90s, G4 was good. Froskurin. Yeah, her name is Froskurin. She's a lesbian that thinks she looks like a female Brad Pitt. Dude, she does not flatter herself. She does not flatter herself. I can tell you that. Miss Feminist. But, like, you know, she's not, like she told us, she's not for the male gaze. I think Bounding Into Comics had this recent article. Hang on, wait. Yeah, here it is. It's like she goes out of her way to look very unattractive. I do not understand. That's hysterical. I do not understand why she goes to these lengths. It's like she is trying to be. She's like doing it just to say that she's like resisting the male gaze, and that makes her a better social justice warrior. It's so dumb. It's honestly so dumb. You go, Frost! No ego, LL. That is funny, Dark. Theater, so I do that scare the heck out of wifey. Yeah, seriously. She's like the epitome of the modern feminist. She kind of is. She kind of reminds me of a feminist of like the she's like a feminist of the Anita Sarkeesian era that took it further. You know? Anita Sarkeesian didn't even know anything about gaming, right? She literally would take these out of context things and make them into something evil. You know, something sexist. And kind of Froskurin is noted for not really knowing anything about the games that she's talking about. You know? And apparently even before that, she was a part of the League of Legends crowd, and they kicked her out. Apparently they kicked her out of the League of Legends crowd because they hated her too. But here's the story. Here's the story. Because it gets worse. Right? This whole entire thing. And I'm just going to read this to you. This is up at redstate.com right now. Please go to redstate.com and check out everything we've got going there and sign up for the VIP. The VIP program has a lot of stuff that you don't get on the front page. You can use promo code Morse to sign up. And check this out. I'm going to have videos on the back end of the website. Not the back end, but behind the paywall of the website. And you definitely want to make sure that you've got a VIP subscription so that you can see these. Again, I'm going to have stuff on the front. It's going to be available to all the public, but I'm going to also make stuff that is behind the VIP paywall. Use promo code Morris to sign up so you can catch all of it. All of it. Some really great stuff coming down the pipe, guys. G4 TV just proved it deserves to go under. I hate to say that, but it's true. I had tempered hopes for G4 TV when it was announced that it was coming back in the form of a YouTube channel, also Twitch channel. As much as I missed the gaming tech channel, I knew the age we lived in would likely force it to be another carrier of the message. Sure enough, I was right. One day, viewers were subjected to a feminist rant from one of the channel's hosts, Indiana Frosk Black. Proceeded to demonize the channel's own viewers and gamers everywhere for being sexist, claiming she was the victim of sexism from people who were even watching at that very moment. The rant ended with her declaring that if you don't like her, then they should maybe tune out. And guess what? They did. Viewers began bleeding off heavily as the network was lambasting relentlessly for Frosk's bad faith attack. The network attempted to recover by resorting to putting on a booba streamer known as Amaranth. But by that time, the damage had been done, and no amount of shallow appeals to the audience was going to bring them back. By the way, if you want more on that, there is a Red State highlight that I made a while back, kind of explaining the whole situation. We go over Frost's rant. We go over the attempt by G4 to kind of make up for it by throwing Amaranth at us because, basically confirming that they think that we're like sexist pigs and that, yeah, we love Amaranth. We want to see boobies all the time. So, hey, why don't you just throw Amaranth at us and we'll be happy again? They think we're that shallow. Don't get me wrong, Amaranth is fun to look at, but you know what? It's not going to bring me back. As Bounding Into Comics noted, the network's president, Russell Aarons, abandoned the position after less than a year on the job. After that, it just went... Following in the footsteps of former G4 TV senior BP Blair Herter, Aarons' departure comes just several short months after G4 host Indiana Frosk Black went on her aforementioned rant against viewers critical of her apparent lack of knowledge regarding the topic she was covering, an action which in turn led to a massive drop-off in viewership for the network's efforts to revive itself. Now we're seeing massive layoffs at the network, 20 to 30 people. According to the Gamer, cast and crew members were hit with these layoffs, with talent coming in for a day of filming only to be taken to HR individually and laid off. Let me tell you something. The exact same thing happened to me when I was at the Blaze. I remember I was at, I didn't go into the office, but I was about to start working, sent in an article for approval, and HR ended up calling me. And it was during the Great Bloodletting. I call it the Great Bloodletting. A whole bunch of people were fired that day, or let go. And I can tell you that it is a not fun way to lose your job. I mean, there's no fun way to lose your job. Don't get me wrong. But, it's sad that it comes without warning. It might not even be your fault. And a lot of people who lost their jobs that day, at the Blaze at least, did not deserve it at all. But that's what happens when, it was not a good business plan, and the business plan for G4 is about the same. It's relying on bad intel. Let's say that. Bad intel. And I don't mean to insult the Blaze. There are a lot of great people that work there. But I mean, obviously, your company goes hard, something went wrong in the background. Here, something did go wrong in the background. Frosk goofed real bad. And the company did not get rid of her. She was the continuous injection of poison so long as she is around. And they decided not to get rid of her. So, if you ask me, they decided not to get rid of her right after she did her rant. Or, not right after she did her rant, but they decided not to get rid of her after it was proven that her rant was actually hurting the company. Let's say that. They kept her around. And so long as she was around and her face was showing up in videos, people were going to be reminded every single time that, she just sat there and called us racist. Called everyone racist. Decided to inject politics. As the rest of her co-hosts seal clapped. Let's go, Frosk! While it's terrible that many of these people lost their jobs because of the off-base rant of one of its hosts who thinks of herself more as an activist than a host, G4 is making sure that its decline continues with one single decision. Apparently, among the layoffs that occurred, Frosk wasn't one of them. Moreover, she took to Twitter to gloat about the fact that she kept her job, as others have lost theirs thanks to her actions. This is a tweet that she actually sent out. This is legitimately a tweet she sent out. I survived. There's a nice little picture of a lizard wearing a crown and sunglasses with, a little joint. I survived. Let's play some games, yo, she says. And she is getting destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Nerdrotic came up with something.
Be a bumpy ride. All you geeks and gamers better stop jerking off to me, okay? I smell like burnt hair, Julie. That isn't stopping you. I talk to you like you're retarded because I think you're all retarded. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. Now press F if you're not jerking off.
Oh, God, I love Nerdrotic. They're so good. They're so good. I can't play any more of that because I'm pretty sure that, like, the brass, the town hall would be like, can we not? She's getting torn apart. Yours truly is part of the dog pile here. If you guys want to go and, because it would be an absolute shame. It would be an absolute shame if, like, you guys just kind of showed up and kind of voiced your very, very normal opinion. Very, very sensible, very well thought out opinion to Frost. Just be ashamed. Just be ashamed. If G4 TV wanted to recover, it would have rid itself of the activist in its midst that is poisoning the network with her very presence. It was her rant that caused potential viewers and fans to turn away from the network and will likely keep them away so long as she's there. Case in point, the reaction to Frost's tweet shows the divisiveness she brings to the network. As of this writing, the tweet above is getting ratioed into oblivion, with the vast majority of responses condemning her selfish attitude. If they truly want to save G4, then it will require a fresh start. And maybe even an apology from one of their hosts attacking them while others applauded her. It will require a return to the fun nature it once had with a strong focus on gaming, tech, and humor. The one thing it definitely needs to get rid of is the activists in its midst who have damaged and continue to damage its brand. If it refuses to do that, then G4 TV deserves to fail. Why is this important? You might be wondering. We should not be rewarding people like Frosk, period. We should not be giving people like Frosk the ability to insult people, right? And then this is how nasty of a person she is. Not only did she insult people, her insulting people cost the livelihoods of people who probably did not deserve it. I'm sure that there were some people there who were more than happy to applaud her and be like, we need more of that. I'm sure some of them weren't, though. I hate to think that some of these people actually had families. Okay? That they were relying on this job to put a roof over their head and food on their table to feed their kids. I really hate to think that. And Frosk does not care. She thinks it's funny. She survived. She survived the G4 TV's great bloodletting. She shouldn't have. I hate to say this. I'm not usually one, outside of government, I'm not usually one to advocate for somebody losing their job. Right? I'm not. All right? I've been fired before, and it is not a good feeling. It is a scary time. It can make you feel sick to your stomach. Okay? But she is a cancer, not just on G4 TV. She is a cancer on society, and we should not be giving these people rewards for canceling people. We should not be giving them rewards for insulting people. We should not be rewarding them for costing the livelihoods of others. But this is what people like Frosk do. These social justice warriors, these woke culture idiots, they can get away with this stuff and continue to be employed, and it does not set a good example for the rest of society. My hope, and I hate to say this because I'm sure there are still a lot of people who work at G4 TV, but my hope is that G4 TV goes under. It gets destroyed. That's my hope. Because if they are going to allow someone like Frost to sit there and spew her poison and not suffer a lick for it, then it should go. I'm not going to watch it. You shouldn't watch it. People just should tune out. If G4 TV wants me to come back, and I will make this vow, if they want me to watch the channels, if they want me to watch the shows, and there are a couple of shows on there that are actually pretty good. The Austin show is actually pretty funny. The Austin show is actually, it's worth watching. But I feel like if I do watch it, I'm not going to be able to live with my own conscience. Fire Frost. Make an apology. Say, hey, you know what? She called everyone, like, she called people sexist who didn't deserve it. And while there sure are people in the chat who act a fool, that's the internet. People on the internet can be mean, period. But that said, we're sorry that happened. We're sorry that we let these people, like, continue to be employed here. Let's get back to, gaming, geekdom, tech stuff. Let's get back to that. Let's have some fun. Let's put the politics away. Let's be G4 TV again. And you know what? I will be the first in line. Because I want to reward people who turn away from leftism. I do. I think it's a good idea. But I have the feeling that G4 TV is currently being spearheaded by people who, or at least there are too many people employed there, who wanted to use G4 TV just to actually push that message, to introduce that wokeness into the gaming, the geekdom crowd. So if that's the case and they don't want to change anything up, then it deserves to go under. That's just the way it is. You were at the Blaze, Brennan? Yeah, I was there for, I think, about 8 months. What's up, Brahma Bull? How you doing, man? Yeah, I was there for a little while. I was there hired as a writer, as an article writer, but I was also a little video creator. I had a series called That's Not Racist, and then a spinoff called That's Not Sexist, where I basically just, like, talked about all the stuff you're not supposed to talk about when you're a white male. I did that. I created a viral video against CNN, and I was basically a regular on the Dana show, Dana Lash's show. And at one point in time, I hosted her show. So, yeah, that's what I was there for. But then, I don't know if y'all remember this. It was like 2017, 2018, somewhere around that time. There were a lot of people that had to get let go, and I was one of them, sadly. Went back to Red State. I'd been working at Red State before that anyway, so I went back to Red State, and here I am today. Who is that model that used to work at G4 back in the day whose whole purpose was to be eye candy? I think there was Olivia Munn, but there was also, there was that Playboy model. What was her name? Oh, I can't remember her name now. Short-term end of RSL and the downfall of G4. Pretty much. No, I am not in any way affiliated with Town Hall. I just enjoyed just about all the content, especially Brandon. Thanks, Raptor. How the hell do Indiana and Adam keep their jobs when they are the ones that effed everything up? That's the question. And that's why I think that, honestly, G4 deserves to go down. Because, seriously, somebody is sitting there. They know the reason that G4 is losing money. They know the reason that the fans are tuning out. Okay? Or potential viewers, and maybe not fans, but potential viewers. They know that. And yet, they decide to keep around Frost, who went on her feminist rant, and Adam Sessler, who literally said that if his family, like one of his family members who voted Republican, was dying or was hurt or harmed or something, he wouldn't lift a finger to help them. Like those two people, those two like super divisive people, they're still there. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Unless you actually say, okay, if I'm looking at it from a perspective of like the woke culture perspective, the people running G4 clearly like this stuff. They think it's great. This is their goal. The whole point of creating G4 in this case was to actually push the message. And screw them if that's the case. Screw G4. I don't care. Breaks my heart to say because I loved G4 back in the day. But this new G4, it is this new G4 is social justice and woke culture wearing a mask, a G4 TV mask. That's all it is. It's just like the Tolkien thing. Rings of Power is just social justice and woke advocacy wearing a Tolkien mask. That's all it is. Okay, it's not actually Tolkien. This isn't actually G4 TV. This is an imposter, an alternate, wearing the mask of a person that everyone liked before that. That's all this is. G4 and Disney are both going to go out of business. Disney will just take longer. Disney, here's the thing. Do I think Disney will go out of business? No. They're not going to go out of business. But they are going to lose a lot of money. And at some point in time, a reckoning has to occur where they say, okay, we're now operating in the red too deeply. Right? We need to figure out why. The funny thing is when that happens, they're going to know why. And they're going to start making some changes. You know how I know they're going to do that? Because Warner Brothers is doing that. Warner Brothers is doing that right now. So Warner Brothers is the first to actually get their act together, or trying to get their act together. It will take a little longer for Disney to do that, but right now they're in the business of politics. They're in the business of social politics is what it is. So they're going to keep pushing these little political, socio-political things that, you know, they can say everyone else is racist for getting them mad at for, and try to interfere in political elections. They're going to do all this nonsense until one day too many people just get tired of the divisiveness. They get tired of being told how they need to live their lives and what they need to think and believe. They're going to watch as their childhoods are like, you know, altered or absolutely destroyed. They're going to continue to make bad movies because social justice writing is just so cliche and predictable. And at some point in time, they're just going to have to go, okay, we're done. We got to turn this ship around, or else we are going to sink. Stupid face saving. They ditched them like they should. They have to admit, and that she was wrong. Yeah, they have to. I think that they absolutely have to. Get rid of her and apologize. Get back to being G4 TV, and if you build it, they will come. Or they were afraid they would get sued by one or both of them. For what? For what? It's a layoff. Layoffs happen. Naturally, this face saving will cost them in the long run. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I hope it does. And I hate to say that because I'm sure that there are some great people who work at G4 TV. And I hope that they actually get jobs after G4 TV sinks. I really do. And quickly. I hope so. You know she's sleeping with someone in order to keep her job. Who wants to get in bed with that? Who wants? Hey, who's lining up for this, huh? Any takers? Any takers? The frost grab, brilliant move. Brilliant. Heard about this from drunk C3PO. Yeah. Sold my 15-year Pappy Van Winkle bourbon yesterday. Just paid. Damn! That's great. Portraying the role of Frost. Yeah, Chrissy Meyer. Oh my God. Friday Night Tights. I love Friday Night Tights, man. They come up with some of the greatest stuff. Did someone say boobies? Boobies on deck. If I was working at G4, I would already be looking for another job. Would only be smart. I wouldn't want to work there. Yeah, I mean, it's a sinking ship. I would probably abandon it too. From old school thinking, who did she sleep with? Gaming only if the CEO is a woman. I thought you love illegals. Oh, are we? Oh, what's up, Scott? How you doing, man? Olivia Munn. I just remembered where I saw the name before. She was in that X-Men Age of Apocalypse grenade. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she played oh God, I can't remember her name now. Why can't I remember her name? She played the sword girl. Gosh damn. Elektra? No, not Elektra. Wait, I can't. Why did I say Elektra? That's the Daredevil. This happens last night at work. 2 interesting incidents. Had a guy that fell asleep in the bed of a pickup truck in our parking garage. Had to call the cops, wake him up, wouldn't listen to me. California? I saw something about how they had to baby oil her into costume. I was thinking, how the hell do you get that job? Boobies, bro. Boobies. It's all about the boobies and the hotness, man. Not a guest, just some drunk white guy. You've always hated Sessler. I didn't realize he was so political until recently. And I guess it just brought it out in for everybody, you know, or in everybody. But I didn't realize that he was like, oh, yeah, well, you know, my Republican family members can just die. Like, dude, how much hatred do you have to have in your heart? You know? Good God. I just hope the next season of Clarkson's Farm outperforms Rings of Power. I want to see a British farmer have more success than wokeness. Oh, is that good? Is that... Dude, I love Jeremy Clarkson. I love Jeremy Clarkson. I haven't watched it yet. You know what I have been watching is, like, the James May, Our Man in Italy and Our Man in Japan. Those are so good. Go, bro. Caitlin is correct. Watching Rick and Morty new season myself. Is it any good? I actually haven't watched it. I feel bad because I'm such a huge Rick and Morty fan, but I heard it was so bad and I'm afraid to actually watch it. There's always someone desperate enough. That's true. Animal's not wrong. Ricky and Morty. First time I watched the new G4, not even 10 minutes in, and Kevin Pereira made some kind of charlatan remark about khaki pants and tiki torches. Yay! Psylocke. Thank you, Brahma Bull. Thank you. It's Psylocke. I don't know why I saw it, and for some reason I was like, Electra. No, that's a Daredevil character. Psylocke. She plays Psylocke. Yeah, Slow DK and Brahma Bull are better nerds than me. It's hilarious, though. Been watching it with my brother lately. Look at what Sessler said about GTA 5 back in the day. Oh, what did he say? GTA 5. What did he say?
It all works together has really hit that point of promise. I think all the other ones just implied and never realized.
Awesome. So one thing that this game has that's different than the others is a mandatory install.
Yes.
On the disc. Now, how big is this install?
You know, yes, of course, sometimes there's probably a load that's happening underneath a cutscene, but as far as the player experience is, that's it. It becomes a seamless experience.
It's you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me. I don't want to go looking through Adam Sessler footage. If you like Jeremy Clarkson, Clarkson's Farm is right up your alley. Oh, good. Then I'm going to watch it. The new season has been great so far, Brandon. 2 episodes in. Oh, really? Okay. I'll take a look at it then. All right. Let's move on. I got to talk about this. Everyone is mad about The Little Mermaid. Okay. Either they're mad because of the race swap or they're mad because people are mad about the race swap. I kind of have a little bit maybe of a different direction here. I think that everybody who is mad about it for legitimate reasons, with the exceptions of course, people who actually are racists. But I mean, honest to God, how many people in this nation actually are full-on racist? Not as much as the media says, not as much as the social justice left claims that there are. Okay, a lot of people are mad about the race swap for a very legitimate reason, and I want to talk about that. This is also for me. This is a VIP article. I'm letting you guys in behind the paywall so we can talk about this article that I wrote. Adam looking like a dollar store Michael Stipe. No, watch the review at the top of the search. I tell you what, I'll go back to it. I'll go back to it. This one right here.
It's great to be back in business, huh? Let's bring it on. The big
This review is brought to you by Audible. Hello, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Video
I can say
games,
myself,
y'all.
I've been very excited to play this game. Here's a fun fact. This is the first Grand Theft Auto game I've actually reviewed. Back in my earlier time, I didn't have the time to set aside to go through a game of this length, and I was excited just on a personal level to finally offer my own opinion early on about a Grand Theft Auto game. So here it is, Grand Theft Auto 5.
So what now?
I tell you what, here's what we'll do. I'll actually watch it after I get through what I want to talk about, and we'll sit and we'll watch it together. I'll do a live react because I want to see what it. You got me interested. You got me interested. That's where Sessler worked back then. And Techzilla. Oh, this one I remember, I think. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it. All right, so you've likely seen the controversy surrounding the trailer for Disney's live-action version of The Little Mermaid, and if you haven't, then I'm going to post the trailer below, and you watch it and tell me what you think. Has everyone in the tizzy? I would press play, but I'm dead serious. Every time I play a trailer, YouTube dings me. So I'm not going to do it. But you know what's going on already. They race-swapped Ariel, right? She used to be a white, red-haired girl. Now she's a black, it looks like red-haired girl. The one complaint I will say about this, though, like from a movie perspective, why is it so damn dark? It's a Disney movie. Are they trying to go for a little bit of realism? If that's the case, and they were trying to go for a little bit of realism, why is she black and why isn't she like translucent, like Matt Walsh suggested? Did you guys see that? The internet has divided, with some people claiming that this race swap doesn't make any sense, and the other half proclaiming that the disagreement boils down to racism. It's my honest opinion that many people are misunderstanding each other out here. While I'm sure that there are racists out there who'd like to never see another black person on screen so long as they live, the vast majority of those who are rejecting a black Ariel, they're not doing it out of racism. Before I dive into what the issue is here, I want to make one comment. This is my devil's advocate moment. This is my, okay, let me just lay this out. There's nothing wrong with a black mermaid, and there's no reason for one not to exist in a children's movie. Ariel is a Disney character based on, but not representative of, a very dark fairy tale. And as such, Disney can do whatever they want with it. There's no cemented backstory that specifies that the character has to be a specific skin color. Like Nick Fury's race swap in the MCU, a move I actually kind of appreciated. I liked Nick Fury I liked Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. I did. Ariel's race swap makes little difference story-wise. Those angry with the fact that Ariel is no longer the adorable white red-haired girl they grew up with have every right to be disappointed she's not making a real-life return in Disney's latest string of live-action cash grabs. But Disney never had to keep to that lane. But with that said, let's get down to the big reason people are having a problem with this race swap. Arguments have been made as to the scientific aspect of the story. For instance, if the story takes place under the sea, why would Ariel have dark skin? There's not a lot of light down there, and increased melanin is developed over generations of exposure to the sun. In truth, Ariel and the rest of the denizens of Atlantis would be paler than copy paper. It's dark down there. Trips to the surface would have to be short because they would end up burning very easily. For some, it breaks their suspension of disbelief. Something absolutely necessary if you want to enjoy fantastical movies. For others, most others in fact, the suspension of disbelief comes from a much more obvious reason: they won't watch the movie. In fact, it's a reason many people have begun writing off companies who have a habit of putting out woke movies. It made moves that are obviously political. Hardly anyone would disagree that Disney has become a much more socio-political organization in recent years. While the left might call it, quote, being more inclusive, the truth is that they are trying to appease leftist race baiters and the social justice obsessed by eliminating white characters and putting people in other races in their place. This is specifically aimed at white people, as you can see through various movies. For instance, the MCU features an all-Asian lineup in the Hidden Chinese Village in Shang-Chi. And why not? It's a hidden Chinese village. Why would any other races be there? The same could be said of Wakanda, a hidden African nation that allows in no outsiders. Everyone there is black, and that makes sense. However, Asgard, a realm based on Viking mythology, features a plethora of non-white denizens. If everyone is being honest with themselves, they'd know that having an all-white civilization would be a modern faux pas, and no studio wants to get caught up in a race scandal. Therefore, any civilization that would feature an all-white citizenship must be made diverse. As mentioned previously, Disney had established Ariel as a white girl with red hair, but now she's been race-swapped in keeping with Disney's commitment to pseudo-diversity. And here's where the suspension of belief rears its head. It's hard to get into a fantastical movie, especially a previously established one with a beloved character, when you know certain changes and decisions were made for purely political reasons, and political reasons that come from one side of the aisle to boot. It's the political world of real life injecting itself into the fantasy world you were looking to escape into. In that instance, everyone has the right to despise this movie by Disney, and no one should fault them for being angry about it. Anyway, here's Michael Jackson as Ariel. You guys enjoy this. That's how I like to end my articles. Under the sea. So a lot of people, maybe even people who make a lot of these arguments about why race swaps upset them, maybe they don't understand why it upsets them so much. You know, they're being labeled as racist and they don't understand how to say, no, it's not that. It's not racism at all. You know, these are the same people who would happily show up. They happily showed up to watch Black Panther. Okay, they showed up to watch Shang-Chi. All right, all of these people, they showed up to these movies that feature all Asian cast, like what is it, Crazy Rich Asians? I loved that movie. Not a lot of white people in it, but I don't care. Okay, it makes sense that the cast was by and far pretty much all Asian. Makes sense. I didn't need diversity to have a good time with the movie. Okay. The real reason is because a lot of this stuff that is happening right now with these race swaps is being done because it is being done from a leftist political mission to diversify what is effectively diversify out white characters. Because, you know, white people are you know, the oppressors according to the social justice book, their social justice Bible, if you will, their social justice rule book. White is not okay. And look at how they react to, you know, things where it is an all-white cast, or little things like you know, it's okay to be white. That campaign, the simple phrase, it's okay to be white. Look at how the left reacted to it. Okay. The truth is that social justice, the way that its religion is set up, is that it has to have victims and oppressors. It has to. That's how it operates. In order for it to increase its power, it has to convince people that they are either a victim or an oppressor. If they can convince you that you're a victim, you will hate the oppressor, and you will vote against them no matter what. Okay? If they convince you that you're an oppressor, you will do what's necessary in order to lose your oppressor status. You will cave to whatever they say. It's a big mess. All right? You effectively become their subject no matter what. But they can also use outrage in order to call you a racist, in order to say, oh, well, they're just mad about Ariel's race swap, or they're just mad about this race swap. They're mad about that race swap because they're racist. No, that's not it. We just know that you race swapped because you're just trying to, A, score political points, and B, piss off people who know and love Ariel as a young, red-haired, vibrantly red-haired white girl. We know that you're just taking her out for political reasons. And that's something that I can't stand. Because it takes me out of the movie. I know that what I'm watching right now, the character that I'm watching right now, she's only there just because modern politics is having its way with this movie. And I do not like modern politics. I do not want it shoved in my face. I'm not going to see this movie. It has nothing to do with race. It has everything to do with modern politics being shoved down people's throats. And I don't buy into this whole entire thing of, oh, well, if it's just a fantasy show, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, well, if it's not that big of a deal, then why don't you just why did they make a huge deal out of someone making Ariel digitally making Ariel a white red-haired girl again? If it's not that big of a deal, why do you care? It seems it is a big deal because it seems you do care. If you don't shove politics down people's throats, they would come and see the movie. They would come and watch your show. They would not tune out of your resurrected network. You see the pattern happening here? I want to know. And oh, by the way, this is another reason that Lord of the Rings is not doing that well. Again, it's more politics shoved down people's throats. This is why She-Hulk, people are tuning out of She-Hulk. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we have Sabbath, which kind of gives us a general idea, and it's not doing well. People are tuning out because they know that it's more politics shoved down their faces, and they don't have the time for it. And I'm going to give you guys another example. Emmys fail. TV's biggest night has lowest ratings in awards show history. According to Variety, Monday's Emmys Awards, hosted by Kenan Thompson, beat 2020's abysmal ratings in terms of lowest viewership, setting a new record. Last night's show drew 5.9 million total viewers. This was on Monday, compared with last year's outing on CBS, which netted 7.9 million. That's a new low and in stark contrast to the 2021 show, which marked a reversal in the Emmys' steady decline in audience size. Last year's Emmys saw a 16% gain of viewership over 2020's historic drop of 12% viewership with 6.37 million viewers. No one, I say no one, 5.9 million people watch, but I mean, you see this decline happening. And there are a lot of factors. Let's face facts. There are a lot of factors. You have it's the age of the internet. People want to watch clips more than they want to sit down for 3 hours and watch the entire program. That is true. Also, this was on Monday, and what else appeared on Monday was the first Monday Night Football game. Between Seahawks and the Broncos. That, just so you guys know, had 19.9 million people tune in to watch that. 19.9 versus 5.9. Now, if you are an average American, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the glitterati pat themselves on the back as they look at you and say that everything that you believe and the people that you want to vote for are evil and that you need to think just like them despite the fact that they don't know anything about the real world, just like Ricky Gervais said? That these same people who engaged in and defended pedophiles are notorious for drug addictions, have a mile-long list of scandals behind them. They're going to sit there and tell you how to live a good moral life? Give me a break. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that. Don't have the time. I would much rather watch a bunch of men at the peak of their game get into a competition with each other. A fun competition. That's what I would rather watch. And that's what people did. That's what Americans did. Notice that the NFL does not really engage all that much in social justice anymore. I mean, it still has it a little bit, but, not like it used to. So people tune back in. The Emmys want to inject politics. They always have something dumb to say that just kind of ruins the entire vibe. And people tune out. They've learned to tune out more and more and more and more and more. That's just the way it goes. So between the Emmys, and I'm willing to bet The Little Mermaid is not going to do well. I mean, just judging by the dislikes that are appearing on the trailer, which I think is past 2 million. Okay? G4 TV losing so many people in terms of viewership that they have to fire people, but not the right people. No one wants to watch this crap. America is not here for it. Period. We don't want politics shoved into our face. We especially don't want politics in our escapism. Take it out. Stop taking previously established works that were very successful or very popular or had cult followings, stop taking them, wearing them as a mask, like you're skinning the bodies, and then wearing their like their skin like some sort of weird serial killer, and then trying to push your own crap through it. We can see you. We see you. You ain't that clever. I'm telling you guys, I think that the end of the social justice woke culture era is upon us. I mean, I can see they are losing viewers constantly. Corporations like Paramount and Warner Brothers, and even Netflix, I would venture, are learning the difference between good programming and woke programming, and which one brings in the viewers. And they're turning a corner. It's going to take a while for Disney to recognize this. But, I mean, the law of undulation is absolute. It's absolute. It's got to turn around at some point in time. It's got to learn its lesson. Oh, crap, he's going into the Little Mermaid and we have a little girl on. Is McCracken here? What's up, McCracken? What's up, brother? All the most popular characters in pop culture happen to be white, so don't see that's going to work out. I don't think that all the most popular characters are white. I mean, obviously, you've got a following for Black Panther. Shuri's a huge one. I'm trying to remember. They're not like Miles Morales is actually pretty popular himself. I mean, in the Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse was an amazing character. Love that character. You have all different kinds of people making up main characters, whether they're female, black, Hispanic, whatever, you know? But so long as they're good original characters, then people will like them. It doesn't matter what color they are. You know, you look back and how many people think that, you know, Sarah Connor is one of the most badass women to ever exist, you know, before the new Terminators. What about Ellen Ripley, Samus Aran? Like all of these people, who, like these women that, you know, men love and respect. And they didn't have to get naked to be respected or liked. It wasn't about sexism. It was like, oh shit, that's a badass character. I don't know many people who hate Nick Fury from the MCU. Not the character. I mean, I like him. And that's not even counting all the aliens with weird skin colors. The anthropomorphic animals who you know make up a lot of the make up some of the comic book characters like a Groot and Rocket Raccoon. You know, like it goes on. I don't think that people need to have a skin color like theirs in order to enjoy the storyline or the character. That is a racist creation by racists. The words I would use is disdain and contempt for Disney more than the movie. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Unless they make the white person the villain. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, opposite of Black Ariel. Oh my god, has she been cast as Ursula? Hang on. It would make sense. Yep. There she is. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Who else they got? Jonah Howard King. Oh, the princes. Oh, Prince Eric is still white. Queen Selena. Karina Perla. They're adding a lot of... Flounder. Jacob Tremblay. I don't know who that is. Sebastian is voiced by Davy Diggs. What has he been in? Oh, he was Hamilton. Or in Hamilton. Star Trek Prodigy. Blackish. Fraggle Rock. Oh, he was Paul in Soul. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's gonna be a interesting moment when this movie releases, because I bet that there are gonna be a lot of people who either go to it to see whether or not they want to hate it, who actually want to go see it legitimately, who want to go see it out of spite. But I do not know how many people, like Americans and general audiences, are actually going to go and see it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this... I hope it fails, not because of the race swap. I want to make this clear. I hope it fails because I do not want Disney or any other corporation to think that launching these, like, hey, everyone's a racist but us campaigns is a way to make money. Because they did the exact same thing with Obi-Wan. The exact same thing. Before the show even released, they were like, there's a lot of racism coming down the pipe for Reva. And I just want to say that if you're a racist who doesn't like Reva, then you're not a Star Wars fan. It's like it wasn't like they had all of 4 examples, and one of them wasn't even racist. One of them was just like a criticism, I think. And it was like, bro, why do I want to watch this show if you're going to make it political? And then people didn't like Reva because she was not because she was black, but because she was a silly character. She was just a silly character. But I don't want them to think that, I don't want Disney or any other corporation watching Disney to think like, oh, if we just make this whole campaign that everyone's racist and sexist, and if they don't like it, if they say anything against it and they don't come see it, then they're racist and sexist too. I don't want them to think that that's a valid way to advertise movies. It's not white characters in particular. You'll notice that it's largely gingers that are being replaced. Yeah, what is it? What is with the social justice crowd and hating red-haired white girls? I don't get it. Like, they are off. Like, how many have been replaced so far? They had like an entire list somewhere, and it's like it's like an absurd amount of people. They're just like, red hair, you're out. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. Yeah, I noticed that too. They're replacing the ginger characters with black ones for no reason, I would say. Not even just black people. I mean, like, wasn't it like in Superman they replaced Jimmy because he had red hair? And yeah, they replaced him just like a white guy with brown hair. Like they just took his red hair away. Wasn't there a Robin variant? Red-haired girl got replaced. They tried to replace Batgirl, who also was a red-haired variant. They've replaced Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man with Zendaya. if you're white and you got red hair, you're out. Sorry. Don't put baby in the corner. Stay out of my entertainment, no matter if I am black or white. Don't matter if you're black or white. See? A red-haired black girl sounds like wifey has some work to do. What? Now you have to buy a tanning bed. Uh-oh, I lost my place. I lost my place! Imagine if they changed a black or brown Disney character to a white one. White people wouldn't like that, but they can't do it to all the white characters. Here's an interesting thing. If it doesn't make sense for a white character to be in that position, then they shouldn't be in that position. It would take me out of it, right? It would. Like what's John Wayne as Genghis Khan? It just did not work, right? But I don't know. If yeah. Oh, and the other thing, Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. A little bit strange of a casting thing, but the funny part about that is they took footage. I remember this. They took footage of Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell to Japan, and they were asking Japan. They would show the footage and they would show Japanese people, and they'd be like, "Are you offended that a white?" Well, hang on. Let me start over. They took it to Japan and they showed people the footage on the street, kind of like a man on the street thing. And Japanese people were like, "Oh, that's so cool. That looks awesome. Look at that. That looks great." Blah, 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 blah. And then like they were like, "Are you offended at all that it's a white woman?" And Japanese people were like, "No." But honestly, if you replace, let's say you like, what if Black Panther suddenly was a white guy? Like through some happenstance, the MCU wrote it so that the Black Panther suit was being donned by a white man. What if the Winter Soldier like took on the mantle of Black Panther for a while? Do you think that people would be happy with that? I'm gonna guess not. I'd rather watch YouTube. The NFL may have reeled it in on SJW crap, but they lost me years ago when they allowed and endorsed it. Yelling at parked cars is what Monday nights are for, people. Amen. Everyone go to Yelling at Parked Cars on Comics Division's YouTube channel. It is awesome. I'm going to be back on October the 10th. Be sure to tune in. And also, they invited me to go on the show on election night. If RSL doesn't go live, I will very likely be there. So go Comics Division. Go check it out. It's still only Will Smith. Media is dying, thank goodness. MSN is dying anyway. Yeah, MSM is dying. YouTube, TikTok, all these people who get on there and I would say, like you've got Comics Division, right? Yelling at Parked Cars. Those podcasts, it's doing pretty well. Friday Night Tights, Nerdrotic, Jeremy the Quartering, Razor Fist, Tim Pool, all of these people who are on YouTube and they're doing awesome. Obviously, Fox News it's funny, Fox News is the most watched news cable channel, but it's not considered mainstream news. It's still considered alternative news, which is funny. But if you look at the way that they're doing versus the way other channels are doing, I think like who's the leftist who's actually doing very, very, very well online? I think like Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker's doing well. Nico Lowell maybe on Twitch. Sam Cedar maybe he's not doing half bad. H3 is losing viewers like crazy. But I mean, like, it's the death of the mainstream media is what we're looking at. But I think that people who lean center right are actually doing better. I'd rather sit out on the deck with a good cigar and a glass of whiskey and watch the trees. Bro, me too. That actually sounds magical. Video killed the radio and the internet is killing TV movies. I wouldn't say that. I just feel like the way that we view these movies and stuff is probably changing up a little bit. I would say that. Companies take a long time to turn the ship around. Disney is still in the beginning of that direction. We'll see. I think Disney's got a long way to go before it realizes its mistake. Because it's still saturated with these people. Or the Kingpin race swap in the movie Daredevil. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that movie, dude. I forget about that movie all the time. It was so bad. And, I can't tell you how envious I am of you. You should be able to relate to a well-written character even if they are a raccoon. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be of that skin color or race to like and love a character and think that they're awesome. I'm telling you guys, that whole entire, I need to see someone on screen that looks like me, is a racist concept come up from by racist people. I'm not saying that everyone should be a singular, no, I'm not saying that everyone needs to be white. That would take me out of it too, But you don't need to race swap. It's not necessary. People will relate to the character no matter what race they are, unless they are themselves kind of racist. MCU Nick Fury is alright, but I was momentarily drawing as I'd grown up with the other Nick while watching Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. Oh, really? She beat out Lizzo. I could hunt from the deck. That's awesome. Everyone's like Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury because an actor he perfectly embodied the attitude of a comic book character. I won't forget the GTA 5 review. Here, you want to watch that right now? Well, let me say this. Let me say this before we get into the GTA 5 review. Because I want to remind everybody what's going down. Disney could bring back Firefly. That would be cool. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. They will bring it back and they will ruin it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Reva seemed unnecessary in the end. It was all about Vader and Obi-Wan. Scott Hounsel and I had a really great conversation about how that should have gone. How that entire show should have gone. For one, Obi-Wan should have never left the planet. Princess Leia should have never been involved. The entire thing should have been Obi-Wan dealing with his failure to protect the Republic, the death of all of his friends and effectively family, the loss of his best friend to the dark side, whom he had to eliminate. All right, or he didn't bring his, he didn't have himself to kill his best friend, right? And it should have been a story about Obi-Wan Kenobi trying to protect Luke and hide him away while dealing with his urges to go to the dark side because of his out-of-control emotions. Something that was teased was also Qui-Gon Jinn making an appearance, so it should have been a relationship between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn as Obi-Wan struggled with the dark side and tried to protect Luke. That should have been the show. But no. We had to get toddler Leia running around a forest and somehow being managing to just outmaneuver a whole bunch of grown-ass adults, one of whom ran slowly into a branch and somehow got taken out. What a stupid show that was. Family Guy color chart. Dude, I remember that episode. That was fucking hysterical. Michael Jackson made some really good music. Guy could dance too. That is absolutely true. I do enjoy his music still. There is White and Black Panther in the comics. There is? There is? Jimmy Dore. Yeah, that's Jimmy, right? From Superman. Before you move into the GTA 5 review, Crowder seems to be indicating that buses have arrived to deport the illegals from Martha's Vineyard. Oh, really? Sent by whom? Who sent the buses? Did they round up all the illegals and then make them sit down and wait for the buses to arrive to bust them out of Martha's Vineyard? Oh my god! Unbelievable! For 50 illegals, they've already left on buses. Ah! Who sent the buses? That's what I want to know. Who sent the buses? The show would have been pretty boring if they'd stayed on one planet, I would say. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I mean, if Obi-Wan had gone off planet for half a second to go and confront somebody in order to or to have divert their attention away from Tatooine, maybe that could have worked. But Leia should never have been a part of it. Qui-Gon was in the show at the last minute, wasn't he? It was you'll have to pardon me because I didn't see that last episode, just that part where they fought at the end, Vader and Obi-Wan. But he wasn't in the show. There was a personal struggle with Obi-Wan the whole show. Did you watch to the end? No, I did not. But the personal struggle let me make this clear. The personal struggle that Obi-Wan should have gone through, right, was not, oh, I'm a coward now and I don't want to use my force powers, I'm afraid of everything, and I'm such a weakling. Oh no. Obi-Wan was one of the most powerful Jedi in the entire universe. This man probably would, if he was struggling with the dark side, this man would have had to try to keep his power in check. Because I swear to you, if in my version of events in my head, all right, if someone like a Inquisitor like Reva came to confront him, Obi-Wan would have straight up not just destroyed her, but maybe even in the darker moments was toying with her. Because he's that angry. He's that angry about everything that happened to him and his friends and his family. He shouldn't have been dealing with fear. It should have been anger and rage. That's what it should have been. because that would have made more sense from a story perspective. That's my whole entire thing. So yeah, Obi-Wan was struggling. I agree, but the struggle was just dumb, and it seemed out of character for some reason. National Guard sent them to Cape Cod. Oh god, it could have been better, but an element of that was there. No, it was, the element was there, correct, but it was not. It was not written well. It was not written well. Only in America, couldn't happen in any other country. Yeah, he made an appearance just as a cameo, basically. Yeah, it should have been a cameo. It should have been a straight up, him trying to pull Obi-Wan back from the dark side. That's what it should have been. Kenobi was a badass in the cantina in the movie. Was not playing. That was cool. Yeah, exactly. Obi-Wan was a different person after Order 66. I don't see him as an angry person. That sounds more like Anakin. But that's the whole point. Like, he saw what anger did to Anakin, right? But it's almost kind of like it would have been a parallel. Anakin gave into his anger. Obi-Wan did not. And you saw how they diverged in that path. From a story writing perspective, that makes a lot more sense than Obi-Wan, one of the most wise and brave Jedi. The same guy who fell down from a rafter in the middle of a bunch of troops with their general right there and was like, hello there. Like that guy. Just becoming like this coward who is afraid of everything didn't make any sense. Did not make any sense whatsoever. I don't know. I wasn't buying it. I wasn't buying it. All right. You were the chosen one. I hate you. Before we watch Adam Sessler and just kind of have a little free time on here, I want to remind everybody and thank everybody. This is the last episode of RSL. We are putting it on hold. Well, it's an indefinite hold. All right. It may come back at certain points. It may come back again whenever the YouTube channel is big and monetizable. Okay. We only started this like a few months ago, guys, and it's already here. So I am, first off, I want to tell you guys, thank you so much for everything that you have done, but we're not going away. We're going to have more videos coming down the pipe now. It's going to be more content. Not live content, which we might do from time to time for big events, but be sure to keep it here. Subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure that you keep an eye out for the content that I will be producing after next week. It's going to be pretty great stuff, man. So be sure to keep it here. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys so much. Seriously. For being in this chat, for supporting this stream, for the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, just the conversations. All right, you guys have been awesome. I have been very pleased with this chat. I've been proud of this chat, this community that we've developed. Very proud of it. So don't go anywhere. Red State is still going to be I'm still going to be producing content on this channel. It just will not be in a live format. So keep it here. If you still want to see me stream, because I'm still a streamer, go to twitch.tv/the Morse Code. It's where I hang out every Tuesday and Thursday at about 8 o'clock at night. After the kids have gone to bed and we're all just relaxing. So head there. We'll hang out. Have a good time. You can follow me at the Brandon Morse on Twitter. You can follow me at the Brandon Morse Live on Instagram. That's where I'll be hanging out. Be sure to send me suggestions. If I like it, I will definitely make a video on it. Also, go to my Discord. If you're not a part of my Discord yet, go sign up on my Discord. Red's going to drop the links in the chat. While it is an apolitical Discord, we do have a politics channel, and you will be invited into it upon request. So be sure to join up at the Discord if you haven't already. And in the meantime, guys, again, can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough. This has been nothing short of a blast to do. Tiring, exhaustive, but a blast nonetheless. And I will see you guys around. All right? This YouTube channel, you will see a lot more of me. So, thank you guys once again. All right. McLovin77 on Twitch. Is that you? Great show, Brandon. See you on the Discord. Just a heads up, I'm not a gamer, so feel free to mock me. It's all right. We don't always game. In fact, last night's stream was just chatting. Obi was not the same person compared to the way they left him in episode 3. He knew that Qui-Gon had additional training for him. If I recall the convo he had with Yoda on that ship after Leia's passing. Oh, you mean Padme's? I just feel like it could have been a lot more cohesive. Despair, not cowardice. Despair makes sense, but I mean, I don't know. I would have much rather have preferred a parallel to Anakin. They started to go the same way, but Anakin bought into it. Obi-Wan didn't. And then they came back and crashed. That would have been my... That's the way I would have written it. Love you, bro. Love you too, John, man. Thank you so much. John is also a big, he's a Twitch streamer, and he is also oftentimes in the Twitch chat. So, again, twitch.tv/the Morse Code. Go check it out. Anyway, I could talk about Star Wars for a while. Me too, dude. I could talk about it all day. Thanks to you, Brandon. It's been great fun. Sure, it will continue to be fun. Absolutely. Absolutely. You prefer Red Dwarf Animal? I've watched a bit of that. I've watched a bit of that. All right, let's watch this Adam Sessler thing. I said I would, so let's watch it.
Looks like I'm gonna have to postpone my retirement.
This is such a good game.
That's the word that kept running through my head for the 60-plus hours I lost myself in Grand Theft Auto 5. Ferociously funny, ferociously impressive in technology and design, ferociously determined to outdo the open-world game that Grand Theft Auto 3
the right
upon
one?
the gaming landscape 12 years ago. This savage dissemination of Western civilization and its discontents is an unparalleled synthesis of story and player invention in the sandbox of Los Santos and its environs. The game focuses on 3 main characters, starting with Michael DeSanta, retired criminal who now lives a life of idle luxury with his dysfunctional family and hates every minute of it.
Don't kill him!
His wife isn't faithful, and his children's ambitions are nominal or worse. Into his life comes Franklin Clinton, a young man from the streets of South Central.
Michael is such a well-written character, but so is Franklin. You know what? Trevor is too. This game, to give you guys an idea of how successful this game is, it was made in 2013 or released in 2013, and they're still cashing in on it.
Who's desperate to escape the minimal revenues of street hustling and gang life, but is stuck repossessing cars in an insurance scheme.
Come on, man, let's trick this whip, homie.
True to the genre, bad decisions are made, and suddenly Michael is back in the world of criminal enterprise with his newfound associate.
Lesson number 1. Don't ever have kids.
Michael and Franklin's efforts get the attention of the last prong of this unsavory trinity, Trevor Phillips.
Roger that.
An old associate of Michael's and one of the greatest characters, not just in video games, but in all of crime fiction.
I'll agree with Adam Sessler about that.
Swing by and sign the contracts, all right? Just ignore the bodies.
Methed out, paranoid of the government,
Run!
and possessed by violent streaks that would shock Ted Bundy, this daringly hysterical character and his strange outbursts of pop philosophy supercharges the events of this massive sprawling epic of ne'er-do-wells, which never lets up for the game's considerably
That was a
lengthy
fun mission.
story. What transpires in the course of the game is best discovered on your own, but how this tale is told is one of the finest examples of video game writing and acting in a year replete with standouts. All against a backdrop of economic, moral, and intellectual apocalypse, Grand Theft Auto 5 covers materialism, celebrity obsession, millennials, the Tea Party, electronic surveillance, electronic gadgets, torture, and xenophobia, to name only a few topics addressed. And it does it with satirical fangs that leave no prisoners as they scorch the earth in the tradition of Bill Hicks, Gary Steingart, and Jonathan Swift.
I need to meditate. Or masturbate. Or both.
The Grand Theft Auto games have always conveyed a discomfort or outright distaste with the trappings of contemporary life. But the use of 3 main characters rather than a single protagonist...
That's one of the reasons I like Grand Theft Auto, though. I like the fact that it's a satire on real life. Like it takes that South Park approach to looking at our society, you know? And you find truth in the absurdity. And that's one of the reasons that Grand Theft Auto was so great. I'm hearing now that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a lot of more like, they're not going to be punching down now. And immediately I heard that and I was like, Grand Theft Auto's dead.
Affords certain narrative benefits, not the least of which is seeing this world through eyes that don't recognize its novelty. If Nico Bellic in GTA 4 is Gulliver, lost in worlds he comments on through his lack of understanding, that role is now assumed by the player as they are dragged through a Babylon well past the point of collapse. Abandoning the main character as a proxy for the player creates an immediacy to the events that is all the more terrifying and affecting. Somehow, under the skilled writing of Dan Houser and his phenomenal team, the game doesn't collapse under the jaundice and cynicism of this tale, because this trio of malcontents, amidst their avarice and sociopathy, have a naive desperation for a world of basic decency and rules. A sad fantasy of masculinity in a Southern California envisioned by Bruegel.
Have fun, boys.
Oh, I'm going to make sure you don't
Don't
fuck
stay
it up.
out too late.
And what a California it is. Perhaps it isn't the biggest map in a GTA game, but the level of detail and
I thought it
variety
was.
is a feat that rivals Skyrim. The city of Los Santos alone is a strangely canny reimagining of landmarks, neighborhoods, and intersections. Playing the exceptional craftsmanship in the game, it recedes into the overall gestalt. It's unfortunate that with such impressive and detailed landscape on display, the Byzantine road layout will require far too much time focused on that mini-map.
Hey, sorry about that.
It's what you do in this world that won't escape anyone's attention. About 80 main mission quests and numerous side missions, all of which come across as meticulously crafted to feel meaningful and essential. From assassinations to yoga to assisting the paparazzi.
I don't know if he's
riding
ever
with the
actually
Minutemen,
played it.
or engaging in a street battle, nothing feels
Later, Raptor.
repetitious
Thank you
or
so much for
slow
hanging out, man.
by either informing the story with sharp writing, tweaking a gameplay mechanic in a new way,
There's like a-
or just designing
there's a way you
sequence
can look
with
at it.
enough surprise.
You
I never
have to
found
have like
myself fatiguing in
a plug-in
GTA
or something.
5, something that had plagued the previous installments, where you had to eat all your vegetables before you got to dessert. Utilizing the 3 distinct characters, each with their particular skill set, be it driving, have improved as well. There's involving more than one of the main characters and a particular
We ruin all the great work your plastic surgeons have been doing.
Among the most memorable moments in Grand Theft Auto 5 are the heists that you pull off throughout your time in San Andreas. Multi-tiered and branching, you pick your crew, sacrificing your take in favor of more skillful associates,
The better they are, the bigger the cut.
steal and park. While there are several heists, I wanted more, especially where I was granted a lot of freedom in selecting the crew and the getaway vehicle. Many of the sequences, as impressive as they are rather deliberate in their structure. The idea of planning out your own criminal event is very enticing, and Grand Theft Auto... Boom! That strong, remarkable content extends well beyond the core and side missions. Grand Theft Auto 5 is a menagerie of activity to be at the outset. It's everything and only privilege and subterfuge culture, popular... In the end, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a monument to early 21st century popular culture, popular thought, and popular values, all wrapped up in a noxious cavalcade of miscreants, sycophants, and narcissists. Everybody wants everything, and only privilege and subterfuge can get you there. I can imagine, 200 years from now, like our reading of Dickens, the game will be regarded as a catalog of our contemporary travails, an accelerated reality bearing more truth than just gazing at our own reflection. It's a horror show with primal scream, and despite only having finished wallowing in its delights a few days ago, like the actual Los Angeles I left last year, I'm already starting to miss it. A 5.
Now, where was he? What did he say though? I didn't catch it. I know I skipped around, but I mean, like, where did he say, like, what did he say about it? Don't bother to duck and cover because I strike everywhere. Going a little late today? Yeah, just a little late. I forgot how tame he used to be compared to now. That was tame. That was actually a decent review. Where's that Adam Sessler? Why are we subjected to seal clap Adam Sessler? If he had just like kept his mouth shut and had just done that, that would have been a great. He would have been a great reviewer. I mean, X-Blake proved that he could at least be a little good. But I don't know. Whatever. Dude, may the political intrusion into our escapism suffer the most painful of deaths. Not a person, YouTube. I'm talking about the concept of injecting politics into escapism. We can do without it. It ruins everything it touches. And I hate the fact that the people who do it do that on purpose. It's the absolute worst. It's so dumb. All right, guys. I can't thank you enough for everything. This is it for now, at least. Again, much love to all of you out there who supported this stream, who liked the stream, who shared the stream, who took part in the chats every single time I pressed the go live button. It was an honor to hang out with you guys. Hopefully, with the success of the Red State YouTube channel, where I will be releasing more videos down the line, we will bring this puppy back. And it will be bigger and badder than ever. In the meantime, guys, love you all. I will see you in the videos that are coming up after this next week. Y'all have a good weekend. I miss you already. Peace!